hey, it's Wes. And today it is time for a good old-fashioned overheating torture test, as you have come to expect here. Today we are pitting the Neewer's latest and greatest Z2 Pro against the Godox V100. And you know, just for fun, we're gonna pit it against everything. We have the Luxmaster, we have the tiny little IT30, the V1, the V1 Pro, the V100, the V100U, they're the same, but different power levels, and the V480. Let's go crazy here. But our main concern is how these two heavy hitters compete against each other. We're shooting at 1/2 power every 4 seconds with in-sync speed. We're gonna do high-speed sync after, where things get crazy. So let's do this. As expected, the IT30 Pro bows out first after 49 flashes. Everything else going strong as we might expect. And then our cheapest, most diminutive normal flash, the TT520 Mark III, bows out. And then the golden goose, the one that started this wave of controversy, I have other videos on that. The V1 at 116 flashes. It never performed phenomenally. It was just an updated form factor, not a fundamentally updated device. Let's keep going. There we go, we have lost the V480. We wouldn't have expected such a tiny flash to last too much longer either. Anyway, but it does have that lithium-ion power system. Still going strong here. And I have to note that I have one V100 set to 1/2 power, but I have another set to 1/4 plus 0.5 because this is a 100 watt second flash, whereas the rest are 76 watt seconds, the rest of the big ones at least. Oh, and there we have the V100 that's putting out more power than everybody else has knocked off at 155 flashes. Still going head to head now. Oh, and there goes the V1 Pro. That is the one that updated to have better overheating resistance. We lose that at 174 flashes. Thankfully, we're still going strong here. One big surprise for me is the Luxmaster. I didn't do an overheat torture test of it before, so I wasn't expecting that much of it, but it makes sense. It doesn't have the heat being captured inside. The bulb is out in the open. It can just fire all day. Ooh, boy. And there we have it. The V100 gives out at 183 flashes. The Z2 still going strong. I did not expect that. The Z2 is cheaper, and we'll talk about that more later on. I think the Luxmaster has slightly lower output power, but yeah. Wow, we are reaching the end here. We draw the line, we cut it at 20 minutes, because anything past that is just insane. Yep, and there we have it. Both the Luxmaster and the Z2 Pro have beaten the overheating torture test, which is not something that can be said for a lot of flashes. Actually, I think the only one that's done it before is the 8600 BM Mark II. That is a shocking upset. Maybe the Z2 isn't as technologically advanced and we're gonna have trouble with the high-speed sync. So let's do that. We're moving to 1/500th of a second, every flash in high-speed sync. And so that removes our TT520 Mark III because it doesn't do high-speed sync. Here we go. Place your bets on who's gonna go first. I think you know who's gonna go first. No. The V1 at 44 flashes. The IT30 is still going. Mind you, its output is significantly lower. There it goes. 79 flashes, the IT30 Pro is out. And then, as you might expect, the V480 at 87 flashes. And then the V1 Pro, there we go, at 91 flashes. Hopefully the V1, no, it did not. The V100 to high-speed sync doesn't go a lot longer than the V1 Pro, unfortunately. And once again, here we are with just the Z2 Pro and the Luxmaster still pounding away. We are 6.5 minutes in to our 10-minute test, so if something makes it to 10 minutes, it has beaten the test. Because firing 1/2 power for 10 minutes at high-speed sync, I don't know what your use case is if you're doing that. Whoa, there you have it, they both won, again. Well, that was unexpected. Now, my first thought, inclination, is that maybe the Z2 Pro just doesn't have an overheating circuit in it. But according to the manual, after significantly less shots than what we just did, it will slow down to a 10-second recycle time. It obviously did not do that. It was still less than 4 seconds. This, however, it did get hotter than any of the Godoxes did. Not by a huge margin, but it did. I zoomed them all to 70 millimeters to keep the bulb away from the Fresnel head. Now, I don't want to diminish the accomplishment here. This did win, but I have some concerns. Later on, perhaps I'll do another overheating test on this with the bulb closer to the Fresnel lens, but I have to finish my full review on that before I make that kind of a risk. It didn't show any overheating warnings or lights or anything like that, whereas this one, like, the bulb is right there. It's surrounded by, is that plastic or metal? I think it's metal, aluminum. This thing can sink heat like crazy, obviously. The bulb's right out in the open, no problem. Whereas this one, the heat is trapped inside, but gotta hand it to them. Neewer really pulled out a win on this one. So what do you think? What do you want to see me do with the Z2 Pro against the V100? This is a significantly cheaper flash, coming in at $210 US versus $350 US. That's why I included a bunch of different flashes in this, because it's not necessarily directly comparable, but it still won the day. Until next time, go take all the photos.